Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to actually design a website. Designing is really simple if you just don't overthink it. I'm going to show you how to do that in a very simple manner. First of all, I like to coin the 3 rules of designing a website, which is copy but don't steal, simple is better, and completion over perfection. The first rule essentially means that you're going to find websites that you like and you're going to copy their designs and their structure and everything that's in it, and you're going to make it yours in some way, shape, or form. But don't steal it, as in don't just directly steal the code or just directly copy and paste it for what it is. You should have a little bit of a change to make it in your style and make it authentic to you. That's how you develop as a web developer in the long run. If you need a list of developer portfolios, you can literally just search up on Google, portfolio list, GitHub. Rule 2 is simple is better. It is always a good idea to build websites for functionality instead of looks. As you can see, this is a website that apparently won Website of the Year. I have no clue what it's supposed to be, and I don't think anyone else does either. It looks pretty cool, but obviously if you're trying to sell something, this is not going to sell. Rule 3, completion over perfection. As you can see, this website right here is a pretty amateur website. Someone probably who's a beginner built this, but getting a website out is always going to be better than not releasing it at all because you're too busy trying to perfect it. So it is always better to push your website for completion and then perfect it after, instead of trying to perfect it and then pushing it out. Building a mental repertoire. As you build more websites, you'll find that a lot of them have universal formats where they share the same kind of structure. For example, this is a Google website, and as you can see, they have an image on the right and text on the left. This is a very common structure that you'll see throughout a lot of websites, where they'll either flip it around or keep something similar to this. As you build more websites, you want to find the universal formats and kind of employ them in your own websites to save time on thinking. Where to find inspiration. Awards and Dribble are 2 really good sites for finding inspiration for good websites. Some of them are really solid, like this one over here was a really good website. I checked it out, amazing site. And some of them are really shit, so you have to be careful and pick one that actually is good. Colors, I'll keep it very simple. Copy a website that has good color palette and make it yours. Same thing with fonts. Find a website with good fonts and just copy their fonts. Best practices. Copying will instill general good practices over time, so you don't have to worry about this too much. Just build good websites, and as you copy structures and formats, you'll end up learning the best format and practices on the way. As you can see, this is a Google site. If you were to copy this, you'll have gotten a very good format for centering stuff with a good title, smaller text, and a button underneath. Let me address when you should actually try and be creative on a site, and then everything else, just get it out there and get it functional. For the hero on branding, for that section, you should probably put more effort into it because that's the one that users are going to first land on, and that has the highest chance of bouncing. So make sure you get that on lock, and everything else just needs to be functional. For example, this is the Google site. Their hero is really well thought out. They've got a lot of graphics, visuals, and stuff to keep the user there. And then as you go down on the page, you get stuff like this, which is just the same format from our universal section I was talking about earlier, but flipped around. They don't even try that hard on this section, but it doesn't matter because it's just functional. When you build your sites, you want to have a flex and grid focused site. It builds your website structure and makes it better and scalable over time. This will come naturally though as you build more websites, so don't overthink this too much. The Google site, for example, they have really solid, consistent structure and spacing. You can use this as inspiration. However, I actually don't know what the hell they're doing here. They have 12 different columns. This Flexbox button probably is more realistic to what you should be doing. I'm going to address something real quick about block builders and frameworks because a lot of people don't know which one to pick when they're building sites. Block builders are just going to be faster. Frameworks are going to give you more optionality and functionality, but they're slower. So to answer the question, if you're getting into freelancing, you want to go for a block builder. This is because a lot of clients will come to you saying, can you build this site for me with my WordPress site already set up, or my big site, or my Squarespace site? They're not expecting you to build something with a framework, or they don't even know what coding is half the time. So block builders are going to be easier and faster to get something out, ship it out, and get your client what they want. And then obviously, if you're trying to get into employment, you want to go for a framework because you need to actually learn how to code to get a job in an office. Should you use AI? Yes, absolutely yes. I don't know who said you shouldn't use AI. They're fool, they're idiots. You should use AI, assuming you've built at least one website. If you haven't built a site before, build it yourself so you get that fundamentals on lock. Otherwise, you can use AI. It's a great tool. If and only if you get paid, you can buy GPT Plus. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but if you want to buy something and invest in your tooling, GPT Plus is a great option. It's a general purpose AI. You can use screenshots and send it to GPT and say, can you structure this layout for me? Can you tell me how to make this work better? It'll give you some really good answers. They have advanced models too, which are really good for software problems. So GPT Plus Really good option if you're trying to invest in yourself. Where do you get graphics? Pexels and Unsplash are great for images. SVG repo and icon libraries are really good for just general icons. Hikey is really good for background graphics. That's the graphic at the bottom of this site right here. The SVG backgrounds, if for some reason Hikey is down, otherwise don't use this site, it's not that good. Once you get your images, you probably want to run them through Squoosh to compress them and reformat them. For example, if you get an image from Pexels that's an 8K image that's in PNG format, obviously that's going to tank your site SEO and loading speed if you don't compress it into a reasonable size and maybe convert it into WebP or AVIF. And finally, if you're wondering how to place your images and ideas, how you're actually going to structure your visuals, do what you did earlier with the layout, just copy it from another site. Should you use Figma? If you're trying to get a job in an office, skip Figma, build it outright in code. You don't need to use Figma, but if you're trying to go into freelancing, Figma is a great tool to use, partly because a lot of clients will want a mock-up of the site before you build it. In addition, if they ask for revisions, you can just make it very quickly in a block editor, basically. Figma is just basically drawing. It's a lot easier to do instead of actually writing it in code. When you're building your site, you want to have a component-first thinking. You want to lock in standardized sections such as the hero, nav, footer, and call to action, and reuse as much as you can get away with. When you're building stuff such as universal layouts like an image and text on the side, you can reuse parts of that, like flipping the image and text around, putting the image on top and text on the bottom, or flipping that around too. Try to get creative, try to reuse as much as you can, try not to reinvent the wheel over and over again. That's essentially component first thinking. I see a lot of people say on the internet that you should be mobile first and then scale it up to desktop. You don't have to. I honestly hate that idea. I think it's a really stupid thing to do and it's just weird. There's also some really practical reasons too, such as if you're working in an office, a lot of the Figmas you'll get will be in desktop only, and then you have to scale it down to mobile yourself. On top of that, a lot of developers who are experienced will have forward-thinking kind of notions, but they're already planning out responsiveness as to building the site. So if you're good at that, you can stay in desktop and build down to mobile. It's completely fine. You don't have to listen to everyone on the internet. Sometimes it's up to you. Final advice, don't forget what the purpose of the site is for. Design around what the user is on your page for, and don't confuse them. As I said before, this is the Google site. It is probably made by some of the best web developers out there in the USA, if not the planet. See how simple and clean and clear the call to action is. Sometimes simple is all you need. You don't have to overthink it. If you're looking for other new developers also trying to land their first job, maybe some guides and tips on how to actually beat job interviews, and finally some mentorship for people who are experienced on how to actually get that first job, I have an online community in the description that you can join. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.